Thank everybody for tuning in to the nation. Let's get this thing going one way or another. Really do appreciate each and every last one of you all. Let's get this thing going, baby. Yeah. Let's roll with it. Let's continue to grow this thing. Appreciate everybody for being part of the mix. Let's go one way or another. Yes. All right. Let's see if I can get this thing going for you guys. Let the room fill up. Yeah. All right. Yes, indeed. All right. Thank those who've been following the channel for a long time. You guys know how this thing go. This is the morning edition. I left my freaking coffee, man. Oh my goodness. But hey, I can still get this thing going, right? Oh, I left my coffee in the other room, but it's all good. We're going to listen into a few shows, and I'm going to give you guys my ultimate feedback on these parameters of what they're thinking about. But let's first listen into, I want to say, what is it, Colin Cowherd, and we will hear what they have to say. But to me personally, is this team to address the title of this particular video. Shout out to you, 5,000 watts. Appreciate you. The thing is, will the Cowboys be this underdog throughout the entire playoff? Will this Cowboy team be like a one and done situation? That's what everybody's thinking, right? To me personally, I love it when we are the underdog. I love it when we are thrown under the bus. I like the fact, I love all this because this team tends to step it up when these type of things occur, right? But to me personally, I don't care what the naysayers say because I know that this team got the resiliency, can fight through the tough situations, and it's known to be one of those teams to just pick it up when everybody doubts them. And I love that, to have that type of temperament, to have that type of, I guess, as you can say, recourse in life, right? It's everything. It's nothing less than amazing. But let's go ahead and listen to what he had to say.
They're going to go to Indy and get whacked. I think Dallas is a good football team. It's a very well-run organization. Yeah. It is not dysfunctional. They do not massively underachieve. They have won their third division in 5 years. That terrible coach, Jason Garrett's won his third division in 5 years. They've had one disaster season in the last 7 or 8 years, and that was the year Tony Romo got hurt. Well, I think they're well-run. I think they draft well. I think the Amari Cooper acquisition was the best in the NFL. I think they have the best linebacking duo in football. I think they have the best young running back in football. I think their offensive line's top 7 or 8 in football. I think.
And this is where I'm going to pause it. You know, the problem is with the media, the national media. They look at the draft cards and they say, okay, well, this offensive line is amazing. Any quarterback, you can throw any quarterback back there and he can throw the ball. And on top of that, remember this, you can put any running back there and they can just go far, very far into this thing. To me personally, this offensive line just not been the same since we got rid of Ron Leary. Just to be real deal with you guys. Let me know if I'm wrong. Let me know if I'm off kilter. And when we talk about the fact that this offensive line just can't stay healthy, I understand the fact that we got Looney out there, but people fail to realize he was a backup of the backup, released or just pushed to the side when he played for the 49ers. Now, of course, when you get to a different team, a different change of scenery and things like that, maybe, just maybe, you can step it up a little bit. And I like Big Jumbo Joe. You know, I'm not throwing any salt or shade at him, but I'm talking to you guys the real deal way, the way that I know how to talk to you all. I mean, he is a backup. Come on now, let's be real. And then on top of that, they refuse to shore up that left guard situation, and it bit us in the you know what last year. Tyron Smith for all of last year and this year been battling through injuries. I don't know whether or not he can last much longer. So we got to go back to the drawing board and get probably another offensive guy, lineman next year. That's just the reality of the situation. We got a right tackle who belongs into the inside as a guard, but he's playing tackle. And that's my guy, number 71. The guy that's been solid on this offensive line has been the Zach Martins of the world, right? And then he had a bum knee the other day when he played against the Colts, and we saw what happened without him in that lineup. Hey, it's just what it is. The Dallas Cowboys, the Great Wall of Dallas, has not been the same since Ron Leary left. Can anybody out-debate me on that? I will sit and wait. Bring up some facts. Bring up some numbers. Look, this may be we talk about the Great Wall of Dallas. It may be the Great Wall of Duncanville. It may be the Great Wall of Richardson. But Dallas or Arlington, no way. When we play football, hey, one can argue this. We can argue this. Shout out to you, Mr. Truckee. Thank you for tuning in to the Nation. John S. Appreciate you. Zachary Nation, Z Nation. That's what I'm going to call you, Z Nation. Thank you for being part of the mix, too. There were days and times in our mind, in our life, that we would say, man, get rid of Doug Free. How about call him drug free? Because he kept getting drug off the side of the line when the guys beat him. But now I just wish the stupidity of this coaching staff say, you know what? Let's bring Doug Free back, and that will force my guy, number 71, back into the inside where he belongs. It's just what it is, guys. But let's listen to more what they have to say. It just gets me mad. Let me know, Cowboy Nation. Do you guys feel the same way when people come out there and say, hey, this offensive line is one of the greatest offensive lines of all time, or this is the best offensive line in the league? It just gets under my skin, because we saw what happened at the disaster of last year. I can't even hit play again because Duncanville got a good line. Yes, indeed. Duncanville is hitting. Shout out to Duncanville and Allen too. Shout out to them. We ain't gonna lead them out the picture, but guys, it is what it is at this point. Let me go ahead and play this day. Appreciate you guys. Hope you guys can grab your coffee. But let's go, Cowboy Nation. Let's listen to more what they have to say.
Dak Prescott, as a franchise quarterback, if you pay him in the $20 million range, not the $29 million range, is fine. He does generally deliver.
What's up, Trey?
In close games late. He's pretty darn good. But I know everybody likes to tell me that Cowboys don't win enough playoff games. Drew Brees is amazing. He's been to one Super Bowl. Aaron Rodgers is amazing. He's been to one Super Bowl. Let's not go crazy here. It's hard to win playoff games. Nobody knows that like a first ballot Hall of Famer, Tony Gonzalez, 17 years, missed 2 starts.
We listen to Tony
Arguably
Gonzalez,
the greatest tight end in league history.
Oh, yeah.
Shout out to Virginia Finest. And, hey, this is Michael. Not all the times, but still top 10, which is pretty good. Are you talking about the offensive line? Top 10 in the NFL? Okay. You know, I give you that. Duncanville graduate. Shout out to you, man. Shout out to Lancaster. Shout out to Oak Cliff, too. Anybody in Oak Cliff?
Okay, so let's talk about, first of all, I watched Dallas yesterday, and I keep saying this. Don't tell me they're dysfunctional. You can't win your division 3rd time in 5 years with a quarterback like Dak. Dallas is a good football franchise. It's a good football team.
No, well, congrats to the Dallas Cowboys. They did it, and I think they did it in the fashion that is the only way they're going to win. I mean, the offense was not too impressive.
No.
I think people have cracked the code now. Amari Cooper, double him up.
Yeah.
Contain Ezekiel Elliott. You know, try to keep him around 75, 85 yards like they did yesterday. And defensively, you got to make plays. And their defense makes plays. Their defense is really good.
You have said this. You think there's a code to cracking a lot of teams. Obviously, nobody can crack New England's code or Joe Montana's code.
They did.
But you do believe after that Saints win, maybe it was the Colts, sort of gave you a way to beat them.
Well, you're talking about the Cowboys.
Yeah.
That's the way now. Because Dak Prescott is Dak Prescott. He doesn't throw for over 200 yards. Yeah. It's rare that he throws it for over 200 yards. He doesn't turn the ball over either. He's going to manage the game. He's going to miss, take some. It's just who he is. And unless he can improve, and I'm not saying he can't get better. It's only what's his third year.
Yeah.
I always say quarterbacks. It takes 4 or 5 years to kind of hit your stride.
Yeah, it did. Russell Wilson, by the way, I thought nailed it in his 4th year. Yeah. I thought Russell became a world-class quarterback. I thought he was really good and exciting, but in year 4, it popped.
Yes.
Like the light went on.
Yes, indeed, because this, I have to say this and I have to segue over to Russell Wilson, then segue over to the other show. This is the thing. This is the thing right now. Excuse me. I wish I had my coffee right now. This is the thing with Russell Wilson. He's a good passer of the ball. I mean, when I look at Russell tape to see out, like, what are the nuances? What do Russell Wilson do? Especially, I guess a couple of shows ago, I was talking about Russell Wilson versus Drew Brees, and I had to go back, and I said, let me just go back and look at the actual tape and see what Russell do that Drew Brees can't do, and what Drew Brees can do that Russell can't do, and all this stuff. And when I was looking at the tape, I was sitting there saying to myself, man, if this was a Law Nation Seattle Seahawks show, I would be putting Russell Wilson so high up here because the passes that he is able to throw and his escapability is everything. He got the deep ball. He got the good sound decision in games. And then on top of that, I saw when I looked at Russell Wilson film, the guy is witty. He's hard to bring down. He got the low center of gravity. He's like the ultimate Doug Flutie with a better arm, believe it or not, who can have a better, I guess, the ability to stay healthy. For those who don't know, Doug Flutie, he was a guy, smaller, diminutive guy that can pretty much win games. He was a game winner. But this guy, Russell, is amazing in a sense, whereas he's willing his team, and we may be up to a good fight against him. Now, the way you can beat him is to keep him inside the pocket. The way you beat Drew Brees is to flush him outside of the pocket and collapse that pocket. But with Russell, you want to keep him contained. And the problem is that with the NFL and modern day times, it's hard for these defensive backs to hold and to play disciplined football out there when you got a guy that can get out to the edge, and you got a guy that is continue to look further down the field, and then also have the weapons and not scared to run it, and he don't look slow when he runs. So those are issues that we have. And then Pete Carroll. Trust me, I have to say this. He is like, we talk about the Dallas Cowboys being so underrated in a sense. The most underrated coach right now in the National Football League is Pete Carroll. It just got to be. He's the most underrated coach right now in the National Football League. There's nobody on this side of the earth wouldn't say, hey, boy, I would love to have Pete Carroll in this organization for the Dallas Cowboys. I mean, the guy is a tremendous coach. He personalized himself with the players, and then he also know how to identify the strengths and weaknesses of his team. Regardless of the situation, I look back at Pete Carroll's information far as before I brought up this topic before, is that the guy took his team to multiple Super Bowls. And you don't get lucky to do that. He did it in the 90s. It's just that they lost to the Green Bay Smackers, But it is what it is. And then he went off to college, and he kind of wielded that team to go far. And it is what it is. He's one of those guys. Shout out to Miss Scott and Pro. Appreciate you for tuning in. Alvin Ridley, appreciate you. Muggs Maxwell and Mike Virginia with VA Beach, appreciate you. Thank you for tuning in. So it is what it is, Cowboy Nation. Let's do a quick switch around. Time is my issue, right? All right, let's go over here and let's listen to First Thing First. And
Sunday. CC, what do the Cowboys need to do to shore up on this?
Vaping Beer say he hates Pete Carroll.
Things, and most of them being on the offensive side.
But he's good coach.
Protect Dak Prescott. Too many sacks. That also leads to him understanding what protections are weaker than the other ones. Where are my soft spots in this protection to be able to get rid of the football, to be able to help out that offensive line? Because I just don't believe you can continue to take that many sacks and continue to be effective offensively. Typically, when you get sacked in a drive in the NFL, you're not going to score points. That in the passing game. It has not been dependable, not only the short passing game, but being able to throw the ball consistently deep on a regular basis. I know in talking to Sanjay Lau, their wide receiver coach, one thing he was trying to improve in their passing game with Amari Cooper, because he didn't say Dak was not a good deep ball thrower, but he said Amari Cooper, he thought in the wide receivers could be a lot better at running deeper patterns down the field. So trying to get both of those groups on the same page with that passing attack.
I'm in full.
Yeah, this is the thing with Dak Prescott. He got to figure out a way, regardless of what the coaching calling out there as far as plays. He got to do this for us, Cowboy Nation. At some point, and I know it's so cliche for me to say this, out of 4 quarters, he got to at least, with that weapon Ezekiel Elliott, he got to at least, when they play that single high safety look, he just got to drop back. Even if he just closed his eyes. Can anybody agree with me that's in the chat box? Even if he just closed his eyes and just launched that thing down the field and just send Amari Cooper on a go route or the Gallup guy on the go route, even if he just launched it down the field out of bounds, that would at least make the defense get out of that single high safety look and get people out of those that loaded box pressure and get some of those outside DBs that they play when they get into the dime and the nickel formation to get them out of that bracket coverage. You know, I did a film session late last night on Cole Beasley. The guy can eat into the inside, but they playing so compressed and so tight up and close inside that, man, all I want Dak Prescott to do, just four times out of a quarter. I mean, not out of a quarter, but 4 times out of a game. And then we can work on lobbying for 5 and 6 and 7, you know, and that's a lot, you know, but we can lobby for that. But this is the thing, the check downs and the underneath, they got us so far to right now to where we at. And it's not me throwing Dak Prescott under the bridge or under the bus or putting him in front of the bus and rolling over Dak Prescott, because he's doing, like CC said, or Chris Carter, he's managing the game. He's just like Gonzalez said in the previous statement too. He's managing the game. He's not going to be the guy that's going to carve you up with 300-400 yards. But on the other hand, we never know what the Scott Linehan's of the world are calling too. So my thing is, during the playoff, you got to get your playmakers. You got to get them the ball. And I'm talking about the Ezekiel Elliott's of the world. You got to get him going. You got to get Amari Cooper going before the third quarter and the fourth quarter. You got to get these guys going, regardless, even if it's a reverse sweep. Get the ball in number 19's hand and figure out a way, even if it's just a smoke screen pass. Figure out a way to get the balls into the playmaker hands. Make the defense think a little bit more, and hopefully, and I mean hopefully, like the Tavon Austins of the world, maybe he can kill you with a deep post or a skinny route or slow go or what have you. Maybe that can be the parameters of the team. Appreciate you, Sheila Neal. Thank you for tuning in to the nation. Kuros Jackson, thank you. Law, why he don't pump fake? And all like all of the greats do. Pump fakes, I would like for the quarterback to really understand the reason why they're pump faking versus pump faking. I think that Dak Prescott at times will lose control of the ball when he try to move the ball out of his hands, and it will cause the fumble. But yes, he's going to have to pump fake one way or another and start picking up those parameters of his game. Or shoulder shrubs. Tony Romo, he perfected the shoulders. You know, when you slide your shoulders and just nod your shoulders, and then we can, and then you can suck in some of the safeties and the underneath linebackers, especially those who are trained to look at the quarterback eyes, and maybe you can get the ball out to the DB, out beyond the DB, and get the ball out to the receivers. But there's a lot of things that I can talk about there during the offseason. Shout out to Amateur. Agree, Gallup looking a lot better lately. Yes. So we saw the connections of the back shoulder fade. That's a good thing. That back shoulder fade was nasty the other game, and we saw the deep post route. Maybe call 3 or 4 of those plays as well, and we'll see a little bit better Dak Prescott out there on the field. Now, that's our baby right there. I always use this analogy, and I love this analogy. May not be the prettiest baby in the world, but it's ours, and that's Dak Prescott, and we just got to roll with it and continue to grow. And when he grows, it can it can turn around for favors of good. It's just that right now, third-year quarterback, I know a lot of people saying, wait a minute, look at this guy, look at that guy. Look, third-year quarterback, it's going to take time for him to develop, and it's just what it is. We just going to have to sit and wait. Yes, everything in life, some things in life is just not microwavable, right? It's just not like fast food mentality. Sometimes you just have to wait for it. Don't it? You just got to wait for good things to happen. All right, so I'm going to try to listen to one more segment before I run.
Full agreement that one of the reasons you're playing Dak this week is because you don't want him to go into the playoffs having played a terrible game against Indy and then a game against Tampa where he completed 80% of his passes, 20 of 25 for 160 yards. Like, it's tough to have no picks, 80% completions, and a bad game passing. I think Dak did that. But the other part, and this isn't just Dak, is the red zone stuff. This is the 30th ranked red zone team. There aren't many things I can say with certainty about these NFL playoffs, but here's one of them. If the Cowboys struggle in the red zone in the playoffs, they're going to have a very short life in the playoffs. They do not have enough firepower offensively to overcome 1st and goal turning into 3 points, to overcome what they've been doing all year long, which is driving the ball down the field and then trotting out Brett Maher, who, by the way, has been one of the best kickers in football this year, for 28-yard field goals, for 22-yard field goals. Because
let me pause it right here. Appreciate everybody. That's my time. But I really want to just talk quickly on the red zone opportunity and the reason why you played Dak Prescott this final game. You want him to be able to understand this is what teams trying to take away and this is what teams are trying to do. Football is a very, 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 very unique deal. We do know momentum and some things you can pick up and key in on as far as the way the teams are playing you defensively and utilize that down the line. We already know that regardless of how we look at it, the Giants defense is just not like a horrible, horrible defense. I think they got good, decent amount of guys that you can pick up on, whether they're showing you a shell cover 2 defense or a cover 3 zone look, or if they trying to pretty much load the box. Final game of the year, they're not in playoff. They might not even do all that. They might just play a different style of defense and they just send blitzers. It's dangerous for the young quarterback, but he got to get this reps in, and that's the only way that he can improve is just being thrown into the fire. We can read books all day, every day, right, on how to swim. The book can be just nice and look beautiful, and it says go like this and go like that, and you can say, yes, I'm a mastery of reading this book, but until you're thrown into the water and get that true understanding of what it feels like, then that's when you begin to learn. So Dak Prescott, the more opportunities that he's out there, the other things that he can pick up and say, okay, this is what I can get away with, and this is what I cannot get away with. And this is what this receiver likes off of this particular route, and this is what Tavon can do in this particular situation. So with that being said, that's been my time. I really thank you all for yours. And remember, you're listening to Nothing But the Bass. Let's jam on out. Let's get on out of here, man. Appreciate you guys for being part of the mix. Don't forget, I'm on iTunes, Instagram. I actually do live Instagrams like here and there. So if you join that Instagram, you can pick up some more information about what I'm doing throughout the day. And Twitter, hit that up. Did I mention Roku too? Hit that Roku up. Rate me as well, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent. You know, we all need improvement. I would like to know your feedback too. That's the only way this thing can grow. I want your honest feedback. So even when the video has been posted, what have you, give me your thoughts. Lay it down, whether or not you like longer shows, shorter shows, or more film breakdowns, things like that to help the nation out. Let's go, Cowboy Nation. Let's get crunk. It's Friday, right? Let's get ready for another Victory Monday. Don't forget to grab your coffee. We're out. Yeah. Oh yeah, try to get to 100 likes. Help a brother out. Help brother Law out. Let's get those 100 likes up. Peace. Right. Come on now. put that down. Put that down on your mental. Remember, you're listening to nothing, and I mean absolutely nothing but the best. We're out. Shout out to you, Brian, John Davis, what's up? Peace.